I got famous, which already sounds strange to say, on TikTok. And a lot of people actually have gotten famous on TikTok, two of them primarily being Charli and Dixie D'Amelio. They just came out with the show on Hulu. They came out with their entire first season. And as a therapist, I watched the full season all the way through, and I have some shit to say.
No one's really given us a chance to show what it's really like.
Let's start with episode 1, where we got immediate access into Dixie's panic attack.
And make it like a negative thing.
Yeah, can we stop making people feel like this?
They posted a video of just that 15-second clip and they're like, oh my God, she's so musty. I'm like, shut the up, like, stop.
So I just started getting emotional about that because she is so incredibly hurt. And if your response is that this is funny or that this doesn't matter or that she deserves it, then you are contributing to making the internet a worse place.
Getting through the moments of everyone hates me and I want to die.
I really want to emphasize just how much you can truly make somebody feel like that on the internet.
I do wish it didn't bother me as much, but I don't really hold on to things for that long. My emotions come and go so fast that I can be bawling my eyes out crying, and then 3 hours later I'll be hanging with my friends, totally forgot about it.
The breakdown that we saw in episode 1 wasn't only a breakdown because of that Vogue situation. I think that it was built up from the multitude of comments that she's gotten over the course of her existence as being famous on TikTok, and that it's important that we work through the things that we have experienced. And yeah, of course, let's move on. Let's not have it all encompass ourselves, but please pay attention to, even if you see somebody acting happy after they've been through something, doesn't mean that it's not still affecting them. Does not give you permission to continue treating them like shit. So Charli experiences the same
all
stuff.
Of the stuff that they are thinking is going to happen. And I was like, I just can't listen to this right now. So I went downstairs and I stayed down there because I was like, everyone just needs to leave me alone for a second before I have a panic attack.
Now we see in episode 3 that both of these sisters are experiencing issues with anxiety. You can see here that Charli said she was shaking and that she needed to step away from everything before she had a panic attack. So episode 4 is called, Do You Feel Like It's Worth It? And I think that that's a really, really great question for us to be at on episode 4.
Everybody's really well-mannered.
Yeah, it's from fear.
From fear.
Where did you guys get all that?
It's this thing I've been talking to my therapist about. It's this third person that's not really existed to any other generations like that. But it's
The
like,
camera.
It's like in your head all the time.
This third person concept is going to play a major role moving forward, not only in the research that we do of how this is affecting our consciousness and our sense of self, but it's really interesting to see teenagers and young adults talking about this. It's also really sad to hear them say that they're well behaved because of fear of what people will say about them on social media. It's not healthy. It's really not healthy. And I think it's really important to recognize that what we've seen in the first 3 episodes is that people do not truly understand the amount of impact that their words can have on people, especially young people, when they're specifically in the period of their lives where they're developing a sense of self. It's as though they're not actually developing a sense of their own reality. They are trying to fit themselves into millions of people's realities. And that is just not healthy.
This unhealthy relationship with food is so common.
So common.
Because no one feels in control, and there's a way to get out of it. I've been in therapy for over 10 years. Once you feel in control of other things is when you get in control of your food. And the way to feel in control of other things is to be in control of your mind. So you gotta work on it.
And I would like lose a bunch of weight and then gain a bunch of weight and then lose it. And my comments would switch up with that. Yep. It's like when you overeat and make yourself sick, and then it's like, don't eat like that for a very long time. It was really bad.
Anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, and other eating disorders are absolutely correlated with the image that other people have about us and our bodies. I like that Charli was able to differentiate that it started with just dance and the things that people would say about her in the dance community, because it's also very common in the dance community to have eating disorders. And it seems like it just exponentially increased as a result, obviously, of going from an audience of people or her being younger and having a smaller audience online to having, I think that she's over or around 100 million people that are probably waiting to have something to say about her.
Like, actually was under, is it called a 404 502?
504? You had a 504 plan?
Yeah.
Oh my God, me too.
In high school, because I literally in the mornings, there would be people walking to get to class, and I would sit in my car and just throw up from anxiety because I couldn't walk through all those people.
Yeah.
So they gave me one, so I got to get to class 10 minutes late when the hallways were empty.
Yes, exactly this. So 504 plans, as you saw in the bottom corner of that screen, help schools delineate how they're going to help people that have disabilities, and mental health is considered a disability, and it should be. And I think it's a lot easier for people to accept that physical disabilities exist because we've been talking about physical health for as long as we have, but mental health is just as serious. And if you're a teenager watching this, and if you're a college student watching this, there are 504 plans, other educational plans that you can place yourselves on that can help you get the type of adjustments that you need in order to really be as successful as you can be. So I love that they brought this up in this show because, yeah, they're talking about a lot of mental health issues, but they're also talking about resources, and we're going to see more of those in the later episodes.
We gotta like figure things out. She's like hit a wall. She's done. Like
Burnout.
She doesn't want to dance. It's just too much.
Yeah, I know. I want my wife, Dixie, and Charli all to know that we have an out.
That's great.
If she says she needs a break, I'm not really going to ask too many questions.
And tell the team. Part of depression, and I'm not saying that Charli's depressed, I do not know all of her symptoms, but part of depression, just to share with you, is that you lose interest in things that used to bring you pleasure. And again, this is not me diagnosing her, but it's me sharing with you guys that if you are experiencing symptoms in your life or stress in your life that are causing you to not do things that you once loved, then it may be time to have a phone call similar to what they're having. Not like you have to have a team to call, but somebody to call to make some changes.
You've told me from the beginning of this whole thing how important dance is. So if she can't dance, then I know that, that's really a sign that she's totally run down and we need to help her. So
yeah, you do.
I want to make sure she's okay.
And so I'll get the calendar completely cleared. Employers, teachers, school administrators, parents, friends, partners, do this. Do this. Nothing is more important than the mental well-being of yourself and the people around you. I just pulled up episode 8 and it is titled, Here's to 17. Pay attention to the fact that Charli D'Amelio is turning 17. She's 17 years old. Why do you think it's okay to treat her this way?
There are incredible things that I get to do and get to learn and get to experience, but it's not what I thought it was. It's not. More mentally draining than people think.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could ever truly be prepared or made for this.
The fact that Charli says that you can't be prepared for what it is that she went through is true and also not true. It's not true because we can prepare ourselves to some degree. And part of what I think this season did of this show was it showed that kids are going to become more and more exposed to social media, and young adults are affected almost just as much. We need to start teaching our kids about how their mind and body work. But it's also true what she's saying, because the amount of fame that she has received at the age that she's at is overwhelming. Especially at 17, she's still developing many parts of her brain and her body that will allow her to go into a full adult capable of handling this amount of pressure. But the human mind and body shouldn't even be exposed to this much pressure this often. To be constantly exposed to millions and millions of people who think that they have every right to say something negative about you is absolutely overwhelming. And that is definitely something that you cannot prepare for. Now, some people may say that this family and that Charli and Dixie, if they can't handle it, then they shouldn't do it. And the thing is no human being can handle the amount of stress and overwhelm that they are experiencing, but people do it, and they do it for you. And so I think you should be a lot more kind. There are many celebrities, actors, actresses, chefs, human beings all over the world that take their lives, even with the fame, even with the fortune, of all different backgrounds, races, demographics, income structures. We need to take mental health seriously. And this show absolutely did that. Listen to this final message from Charli.
No one's really given us a chance to show what it's really like and how it's not always picture perfect and how it's not always a roller coaster going up. No one wants to see real life. They want to see highlight reels. Like, when you look at it from an outside perspective, I completely understand why everyone thinks it's like, it doesn't make sense to feel the way that I feel sometimes.
Right.
They see all the good things and they don't understand why we're not happy.
Overall, I think that this show left us with a really important message when it comes to mental health. And I am very proud of the producers and directors of this show and extremely proud of the D'Amelio family. And instead of me leaving you with a message about what you can do to help young children that are experiencing these types of issues, I'm going to leave you with how Charli left you at the end of the series. Till next time, this is Dr. Courtney Tracy, and thanks for watching The Truth Doctor Show.
Be part of the change. Be part of the group of people that make social media not as negative of a place. If you spread the positivity, I think social media can be a different place.